Hello, Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between VampyWorm and daydrA on Moonlight Madness, the latter edition. Both of these players are part of Team Ascension, which means they are excellent StarCraft 2 players on a hit seek by accident instead of names. On the top right of Moonlight Madness, we have the orange Protoss player. It is VampyWorm, again from Team Ascension. And in the bottom left of Moonlight Madness, the latter edition, we have the purple Zerg player. It is daydrA, representing the Phoenix clan again. So I think we've seen VampyWorm and daydrA team up for Archon games previously on the channel. They do make a very good team. They've steamrolled most of the people that they played, but where they're playing against each other, who has the upper hand? Nobody knows. Opening up with the gateway standard stuff for the Protoss player, probably going to see Adepts. Again, Zerg players have pretty well figured out how to deal with mass Adept openings. You either go for a lot of lings to get surrounds on the Adepts. It's not a super cost-effective trade, but you're trading minerals for gas, and so it pays off in the long run, I think. Or you just get Roaches. Roaches do super well against Adepts as well, even though they're slow, and Psionic Transfer can kind of juke Roaches out of their shorts most of the time. It's still okay. So VampyWorm not really scouting. You know what? When I complain about players not scouting at all, it usually seems like it's Protoss, if I'm going to be honest. Protoss players just kind of have a build they're going to do regardless. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. They don't really care about scouting and seeing what the other player is doing. So I could be wrong about that. Let me know in the comments if I'm just generalizing an entire race negatively. I don't like to do that. It seems like a bad thing to do, but it just, again, seems like Protoss players just don't bother to get that probe out there and see what's going on. Cybernetics core now coming up. I think we went hatch first for daydrA. So daydrA probably knows exactly the tendencies of VampyWorm, saying he's not going to proxy gate me. He's not going to cannon rush me. I can go ahead and get that expansion up first and then get my spawning pool, get my gas, and be on even economic footing. I actually don't see a nexus here for VampyWorm. Usually, I guess we're walled up, and this is a pretty big thing to ramp. There goes the nexus. Okay, so a little bit later than I thought. Overlord is scouting. daydrA is actually guilty of not really scouting either. But again, recognizing that these are teammates playing against each other, he probably didn't need to send a drone out at all. So in the end, why waste the mining time that you could get back at home on scouting, eh? We are researching Warp Gate right now at the top of the ramp on the Cybernetics core. The Overlord sees exactly what's going on. Does the Overlord see the base? No, does not see the expansion, so I'm not sure why he's taking this path, unless it's to see the gas count, how many simulators have been taken. That might be useful information to know as a Zerg player. And actually heading on out now to see if there is a nexus or not. And there is, so third base on the way for daydrA. Before he knew that expansion was there, though, he had that third base going, so he's going for a super heavy macro type play right now. He's not going for anything super early, but again, it's Legacy of the Void, and early ling attacks come at like the 1 minute and 2 second mark. It's nothing weird at all. They just don't come any later than that. Alright, so Gateway is coming along to wall this off. I'm pretty sure this is a solid wall now that the Adept is standing here. Adepts have a lot of health, 180 total health, and so they can hold off a lot of lings basically on their own. They fulfill the role that Zealots used to fulfill. So now we actually make a couple attacking units. I think those are the first attacking units for daydrA all game. Again, 3-minute mark. It's not super late, but still. Overlord scouting things out, just trying to see what's going on. Probably seeing when these assimilators get taken. That is really important, vital information for Zerg players to know when they're playing against a Terran player. So pretty much just drones right now. Drones and queens and queens and drones. It is 29 to 22 harvesters. daydrA is in the lead on VampyWorm. What is VampyWorm going to do? Is the question. You can't chrono boost the Cybernetics core. I keep forgetting about this. Look how long this has taken to actually finish. It would be done long before now with chrono boost. It's such an important spell, such an important ability for Protoss players, but now it's going to be late, which is going to delay things like 4 gates. Not that you really see those anymore, but still. Finally making the warp gates, much to VampyWorm's disbelief, much to his relief. And actually, I had a commenter correct me in an earlier video. Pylons that are touching buildings warp in units in 2 seconds. So basically, Blizzard saying, if you're warping in units to defend against an attack, we want you to warp in quickly. That makes sense to us. If you're warping in on a pylon that is far away from your base and not next to a gateway, so this is a bad example, it takes 16 seconds to warp in. So they basically like the warp in as a defensive unit or a defensive ability. They don't so much like the warp in as an offensive ability. They want to slow down the ability of Protoss players to warp in huge armies at the front door of their opponent very, very quickly. So interesting change. We'll have to see what that does to the meta of StarCraft 2. Extractors are popping here and here. No extractors yet here at the third base. But that is A-OK for daydrA. 48 to 32 harvesters. daydrA has been macroing all the livelong day. What are we doing here? VampyWorm needs to make something happen. You can't just let Zerg sit back here and do this. Bringing an Adept Sentry play along with a Mothership Core, just in case things get a little dicey. You have to recall back home. Warping in, see how long this takes. Warping in Zealots. Boop. Oh, wait. No, super fast. Did that change? What on earth is going on? I don't know, but here comes the push. VampyWorm is going for it. This queen might just die immediately, but she runs for her life. We did force field off the main base. That's what you got to do as Protoss. It's kind of a jerk move in my opinion, but I'm a Zerg player, so I'm biased. Lings try to get in here and do what they can, but everybody is trapped in the back. The ranged adepts and sentries are going to town on all of these workers. Look at that trap there. Just so sad for those drones. Trying to come in and help, but again, force fielding off this ramp. So frustrating. More and more zealots coming on in. This base is a total lost cause for daydrA. Roaches getting stuck in the ramp as well. Can't even attack before they get hacked to death by those zealots. This hatchery being focused now. There's nothing else to kill. Might as well go for the hatchery. And it does explode. And a fountain of blood that doesn't cover everything. Maybe it should. Maybe like graphics wise it should cover everything that's nearby when it explodes. But here we come, defending our spine crawlers, our lings, our roaches. We are desperate to make this happen if you're daydrA. No, stalkers are joining the party now. It does not look good for our Zerg players. Spines finally pop though. They're trying to kill what they can. More lings coming in from the right side. Roaches as well. The force fields are really good. Actually more force fielding off these zealots than anything else. But either way, this is still a giant attack party right in the heart of the main base for daydrA. Actually, a warp prism coming in as well to warp in more units. Roaches spawning at exactly the right time, trying to kill these adepts. Again, adepts don't kill roaches fast, but roaches don't really kill adepts fast either. So right now, the adepts are just tanking, allowing the DPS from the stalkers to do the rest. So many stalkers being warped in. Roaches and Zerglings coming in for the player that is Zerg, and that's it. daydrA calls the GG, VampyWorm is victorious, and daydrA has left the game. Whew! So pretty crazy game there. 6 minutes and 59 seconds, but non-stop action for the last couple minutes, absolutely for sure. So good timing there. Interesting strategy, interesting build that we saw from the Protoss player. Didn't actually really make use of the Europa facility except for the Warp Prism, which I think was entirely unnecessary to be honest, but either way, this has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you heard and what you saw today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.